At least until it gets to the point where I can't make these runs because the course has changed so much. I guess it's sort of an unofficial thing that every new rig gets to run the 90 gate raid course, albeit without gates. So here's the tongue-in-cheekily named VRX4-10 Pro R Ultra, the Tranquish, which is, of course, if anyone watching this did not view any of the build series, this is a VS410 Vanquish chassis and a bunch of custom bits to put TRX4 remote locker axles on it. So, hence the Tranquish name, as it's about half Traxxas and half Vanquish, with a fair sprinkling of element on there. So this is one section right here that this didn't exist when the full raid went through, and when the raid went through, about half of the contestants had to deal with a big dirt mound, and none of that rock was there. So some of it has changed. So, and also the times are not like, these aren't official times. This is sort of an exhibition type thing, because it's handy for evaluating particularly fresh builds. The Banana did this after its fresh build. The Tranquish has only been completed for a couple of days. I think I have about 3 packs through it at this point. I've already determined that I like the design of that 3D printed bumper, but I don't think it's going to have the durability to withstand the dumb line taking that I keep trying with this rig, because I've already the stinger is cracked in half in the middle. But I'm just going to run that bumper until it gives up, and then I don't know, maybe shave that top part flat, figure out how to attach some other sort of stinger. Anyway, back to the run at hand here. Because of the fairly massive gear reduction of the TRX4 axles, paired with it's got a 90 tooth Kimbrough spur on it, and due to the fitment of the QT, what I just call the Amazon Dig gearbox, about the biggest pinion gear I can fit with a 90 tooth spur is a 20. So we've got a 20 tooth pinion, a 90 tooth spur. It takes 21 revolutions of the spur to turn the wheels one time. So 2090 is 4.5 to 1. And you multiply that by 21 and you get a 94.5 to 1 final gear reduction. So in a lot of these segments, when you hear it kind of wind up, there'll be a spot right here on this flat section, right there. That's full throttle. That's as fast as it can go. And because the gear reduction is so significant, it basically goes from standing, dead stop, to full speed under 3 feet. So it does have some good bump to it, actually, because it can go, it's all acceleration. And I've become rapidly enamored with the massive gear reduction. I already have a new servo on order for it, because at this point in wheeling it, the only thing I'm unhappy with is the red body AGFRC, the 73. It doesn't seem to have enough torque, particularly with the tiny little servo arm that you have to run for a VS410 chassis. It doesn't have enough torque to hold the wheels in position. So the rig has more push than I would like it to have. I don't think it's anything specifically to do with the geometry itself. I think it's the servo trying to overcome that geometry, and it's rated at 32 kilogram, but I think at 7.2 or 7.4, whatever the rating is for that, and right now it's running directly off of the Copperhead's internal BEC. And as people may or may not know, the Castle internal BECs have two settings. They got crazy and they have super safe. So you can set it to 5.5 volts or 7.5 volts. Well, this rig has 3 of the JX, the little baby half-height servos to operate dig, there's dig, and to operate the 2 diff lockers. They are rated for 6 volts. So I have to run the BEC at 5.5, which is doing no favors to that AGFRC servo, which if it was set to 7.5, I believe would have enough torque to do what I want. Here it is on Daphne's line. There's a good exhibition of 94.5 to 1 gear reduction. This thing has low wheel speed like no other rig has low wheel speed. Like I say, it goes to full throttle so fast and then can go down to next to nothing. The Tranquish absolutely devoured what I would call the second half of the course, which is after finishing Oblivion and going up the side, doing the little horseshoe around the waterfall. From then on, I think this whole part of the run took just a hair over 2 minutes. It did have a bit of a problem that others didn't have in this section on the dirt, not because of the tire, not because of the setup, not because of any of that, but because it stopped raining about a week ago. It's been very sunny ever since, so it's still a little bit wet underneath. The soil holds that moisture. You can see some of the moisture down under the bridge. But the surface, the top surface, is completely blown out. So it's very, not to the point of being dusty, but like sandy. So in some sections, the tires would get a little, there was still enough stick to the sand that the sand would adhere to the landmines. And when transitioning from dirt to something more firm, sometimes it would take a second for the tires to kick that looseness out. It was kind of a problem right here because it had spent a good bit of time on dirt and then was transitioning to pure rock. Picks up a little dirt here. See, there's a little bit, almost imperceptible, but there's a little bit of slip as the tires have to turn a couple revolutions to kick the sand out. But from here on, it's pretty much hard pack, and the ground clearance is amazing. So there it finishes its run in a very impressive 720.34. Now, mind you, that is no gates. So, do I think that in its current configuration it could beat the Vanquish Phoenix's official time? I think it was a 7:45. No. I think it requires some work, and even then, because of the way the TRX4 axles fit this chassis, and just the way it came out. Oh, and 90 millimeter shocks versus 80 millimeters on the Phoenix. Its side hilling is not as good. Of everything here, even with that heavy body, the Phoenix is probably the second best side hiller. It might be the best side hiller. So if the Phoenix, if I didn't love that Phoenix body to death, and I put something on there like this, like a tucked, the Phoenix would probably be unstoppable. But I love that body too much. I already betrayed the Defender on Jolly Green. I'm not taking that Phoenix body off. So the The Tranquish is definitely a winner. Here it is going up Slick Rock in reverse, just because it can. And I think that was a tremendous run, and with some tuning and some little bits on order to make it a little better, I think it's going to go head-to-head in a contest with the Phoenix for sure. But that's all for this one. It was a quick run, because that's a pretty quick rig. And you know what? Thanks for watching.